Hello dear children, welcome again to your social science class, the second part of chapter 17. So in the second part, I'm going to explain to you about the remaining subtopics, alright? Remember, we are still dealing with the local government, which is in page number 108 in your textbook. Now, the remaining subtopics are the the block samiti, the zilla parishad, and also I will be explaining to you about the local governments in the towns and cities. All right. So the subtopics will be the panchayat samiti, the zilla parishad. I will explain to you the income and I will explain to you how they used to function. Then under the local government in the urban, there are classifications known as the nagar panchayat, the municipal corporation, and the um, municipality. All right. So just like the other local governments, they also have certain functions and income, the income that they get and how they used to function with the help of this income. All right. Now, so let me begin with the panchayat samiti. All right. Now, if you remember, I was explaining to you about the local government in the village level, where there is gram panchayat, where there is block samiti and the zilla parishad. All right. This gram panchayat is the lowest level, followed by the block. This block acts as a link between the zilla parishad and the gram sabha. All right, the gram panchayat. Now I'm going to start with the middle one, that is the block samiti. All right. Now the members in this block samiti, they are usually the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They are also the members of Legislative Assembly and the Legislative Council. And those people, if you remember, I explained to you about the Sarpanch, who was the head of the Gram Panchayat, right? Now this person also becomes the member of the block Panchayat, the block samiti, right? Now similarly, like the Gram Panchayat, this block samiti also works for the functions of the village, and they used to look after the villages. Now, what is the difference between these Gram Panchayat and the block samiti? Here in the Gram Panchayat, they look after only one or two villages, right? I've explained to you that as well. Now here in this block samiti, they look after more villages. Sometimes it could be 100 villages, all right? So here they have more work, and like the more work, they also require more people. That is why the members of this parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and the members, those elected members known as the Sarpanch, they also become a part of the block samiti. All right. Now, similarly, like this Gram Panchayat again, they also look after the health centers. They also look after the cleanliness of the villages. They look after the healthcare centers, the schools, and whatever requirements, whether it could be in electricity or whether it's water, they look after all the basic necessities of a village, all right? And then this village, this panchayat samiti, also known as the block samiti, they get all this income from the taxes. Again, just like the gram panchayat, they used to impose some taxes for the land, for the shops, for their field, or sometimes for their cars or for their house. Okay, so all these taxes are collected by these officials, which are then collected, and then later on, for the purpose of the development, these taxes are being taken out and use it for the requirements needed for the developmental process. Okay, so that is all about the panchayat samiti. Coming to the next one, that is the zilla parishad. Now here, the zilla parishad, they are the highest level under the local government in the rural areas. All right. Now this zilla parishad, they look after the districts. So normally a district will have a lot of villages, right? So here in Nagaland also, Nagaland is a state. Then under Nagaland we have districts and then villages, right? I've also mentioned to you about this in the previous class. Now to look after this district, they have this zilla parisha. They are a group of members, all right, who look after the districts. Now in this district, the people who look after this district, they're also again the members of the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, and also the elected members known as the Sarpanch. Okay, similarly, like the Block Samiti again, those members become the members of the Zilla Parishad. All right. Now, for the detailed members, I want you to look at page number 110 towards your right hand side. Just below the Zilla Parishad, you can see that the members of the Zilla Parishad are the district collector, the deputy commissioner, also the members of legislative assembly and the legislative councils, and then they are also few seats. Okay, whoever are the members of the Zilla Parishad, they are either scheduled caste, they're either scheduled tribe, or also they are other backward classes, and also some few women members. All right, so it is always, the seats are always reserved for women, even in the Zilla Parishad. All right, so together they used to decide for the village, together they used to look after the district, they used to do the developments, whether it's a school, developing a school, or whether it's developing the roads. All these things are taken care by the members. All right, so some more functions under the Zilla Parishad are, one is it distributes funds allotted to the district by the state government. All right, see, I have mentioned to you that in India we have 28 states and 9 union territories, right? So it is not possible for the governor of India to come into these villages or to come into these districts and to look after the matters, or look after the roads, or look after the electricity and water supply, right? So this governor, what he does, he used to send out the so whatever requirements are there, this Zilla Parishad, they used to have an assembly, they discuss among themselves, and then they pass the information to the state governments. All right, now these state governments, they will look after the matter, and then they used to provide the funds. Okay, so how much money is required for the maintenance of road, or how much things or what are the things that is required in order to improve the educational system in this particular district. So all these things are done with this type of communications. All right, so the next one is it advises the government on all matters relating to the developmental activities. So the Zilla Parishad, they also advise the government what are the requirements and why they need it, right? So all these discussions are made among between them. All right, and sometimes the governor of India, they used to set up programs in order to help the farmers, right? For that also they cannot personally come and help the farmers, right? So what they do, they used to send the funds through the Zilla Parishad, and then the Zilla Parishad, they distribute these funds to the farmers, or they used to organize these programs according to the requirements. All right, so that is how the communication is done. Now similarly, like the other panchayats, like the Gram Panchayat and the Block Samiti, even their income comes from the taxes. All right, taxes that from the taxes, and sometimes they also get some funds from the state governments. All right, so with the help of those money, the things are bought and the developmental requirements are met. Okay, now why we need this Panchayati Raj system? Just like I have mentioned to you that why we need this local government. Similarly, this Panchayati Raj system, you know, they are so important because in order to look after the village matters, the village people, they cannot go and seek for the governor's help, right? So every time the messages or every time the problems are being discussed in a small way, then later on it is passed on to the next step. You know, it used to take certain steps, right? So later on, only in the last part, these informations are passed on to the governor, and then similarly the governor will send the funds through the Zilla Parishad, then the Zilla Parishad to the Block Samiti, and from the Block Samiti to the Gram Panchayats. Okay, likewise they follow these steps. All right, so this is how they help one another. Now coming to the local government at the urban. So just now I finished the local government in rural areas, that was Gram, block, and zilla parishad, right? Now let me explain to you about the local government in the urban areas. Now starting with the nagar panchayat, all right? Now these nagar panchayats, they are a team who look after the towns, okay? So towns are usually bigger than a village, but they are smaller than the cities, right? So these towns are looked after by the nagar panchayats. So their functions and the income of this nagar panchayat is almost the same with the other panchayats. But what they do here is, in this nagar panchayat, the members, the members of that town, they can also participate if they have attained the age of 21 years, all right? So if you have attained the age of 21 years, you can also be a part of the nagar panchayat, and you can also participate in the developmental process of your town, all right? And then coming to the municipality. Now this municipality, what they do, they look after the cities, all right? So this municipality, just like the other panchayats, again, just similar to the other panchayats, they also look after the developmental things, like how to develop the roads, how to develop the society, what are the things that are required in order to develop their town, in order to develop their cities, right? So let me go in detail. You can turn to page number 112. Under the functions of the municipalities, which is in page number 112, the first one is cleanliness and maintenance of the public health. So normally in a city, there are more people, more houses, right? And even the garbages comes in huge quantity, right? So in order to maintain cleanliness in these cities, more people are required and more works are required, right? Because you cannot just take out all these garbages and throw it anywhere you like. So they used to appoint certain people who used to throw these garbages to the specific places which has been specifically meant for the wastage, all right? So likewise, they used to appoint certain people for cleaning these garbages, or they used to appoint certain people who look after the planting of trees, because people only take care of their surroundings, right? You and I, we don't go and look at the trees and the flowers which are planted in the main roads or at the sides of the roads, right? So these people, they used to look after the plantation of trees or plantation of any flowers that is so these are done by the people who are appointed by the members of this municipal council, all right? So just like this gram panchayat where sarpanch is the head, here also they have one member who is the chairperson, all right? This chairperson is the main leader, he is the main head of this municipal council, all right? Then apart from that, they also have other functions like providing public amenities. So in the cities, usually there are so many houses, so people do not have places to take rest. So it is the duty of this municipal council to arrange parks for the public, or to maintain the public wells, right, where they can get water, because every home doesn't have sufficient water taps, right? So all these are taken care by the municipal council. And then they also look after the education and culture. There are government schools even in the cities, so they are looked after by the municipal council, all right? Then another function is safety and security of citizens. So in a city, many crimes takes place, right? In a city, many robbery cases are there. There are cases which are more dangerous as compared to the villages and towns, right? So all these things are taken care by the municipal council, all right? They make sure that there are CCTV cameras, right? They make sure that the police are there in order to protect the publics, right? So they also set up police stations. They also take care of the certain public safety places, right? So all these things are taken care by the municipal council, all right? So the sources of income of this municipal council are they used to get money from the taxes. So in a city, they get more taxes because there are more houses, there are more cars, and there are also more lands, right? So they used to get more money, but just like how they get more money, even a lot of money are spent for the development, okay? Then they also get income from the loans that are provided by the state government, and they also get different kinds of grants, different kinds of donations from different governments, all right? So with the help of these donations, with the help of the taxes that are being collected, they used to maintain the roads, they used to maintain the public parks, they used to look after the electricity and water supply, and also other necessary things, all right? Now, the next one is the municipal corporation. Remember this nagar panchayats, they look after the towns, all right? Then this municipality, they look after the cities. Now this municipal corporation, they look after the big cities, all right? So cities and big cities are different, right? There are cities which are big enough, but comparing to the big cities, the cities again become smaller, right? So in order to look after the big cities, they have this municipal corporation, all right? And the head of this municipal corporation is the mayor, right? Now this mayor and this chairperson, they are elected by the members of that cities, all right? So this mayor, after every 5 years, this mayor and the chairperson used to change. If they are doing their work satisfactorily, if they are doing their work properly, then the same mayor or the same chairperson can also take his position after the 5th year, all right? So whoever attains the age of 18 years, they can elect this mayor and the chairperson through an election all right? So with the help of these people, with the help of the citizens of that cities, the mayor and the chairperson are elected, and also those people who are 21 years and above, they can also take part in the election if they are willing, if they want to bring development in their society, or if they have some goals for their society, they can also be a part of the election, all right? So the functions of this municipality is also similar to the municipal corporation. The municipal corporation and the municipality have almost the same functions. They either do it voluntarily or they either do it because it is compulsory for them, all right? And the sources of income is also quite the same, where they used to get income from the taxes that they get from the land, from the shops. Sometimes people do business which are related to the foreign countries, right? So they also pay taxes to the this local government, and with the help of that money, they used to develop their own cities, all right? So all these panchayat and all these local government at the village and at the urban level, we have to cooperate with them, because if you don't cooperate with them, if you and I don't cooperate with the government, our society will not develop, right? So in order to develop our society, it is very important for the citizens to take part and be a part of the developmental activities, all right? So that's all for this lesson. I'm sure you have understood, and you keep studying and keep in touch with your books. Thank you so much.